Okay, guys, so now that we are done with all of our Photoshop exercises, we're going to work on our Photoshop portfolio. And I'm going to show you some steps that you need to follow to create your portfolio. Now I have a rubric here. I'm going to pull that rubric up really quick to see. So we've done 32 different exercises, and I want you guys to include all 32 of these exercises plus an introduction page. And I'm going to show you step by step what you need to do to create a portfolio. First of all, create our introduction page. It's going to be all your creativity. And then once you have that, we are going to take each one of those pages that we have created with Photoshop and convert each file into a JPEG file. And once we do that, we take all of those JPEG files and we create a photo album on PowerPoint. Your portfolio will be basically a PowerPoint with JPEG files, and each one will be your exercises. So I will show you a couple tips and to help you prepare this really quickly and easily instead of going through all the processes of converting JPEG files for each and every one of your Photoshops. And I will also show you how you should do your JPEG files. So let's start first with our introduction. Just use Photoshop and use your creativity, create something that is going to be your first page on your portfolio. It should definitely have your full name. I didn't put my full name, but put your full name and create an attractive introduction page that says that it is your Photoshop portfolio and it has your full name on it. Okay. Now we're going to convert this to a JPEG file, but you see there are so many layers here. The first thing we have to do is flatten the layers so that you only have this one image at the end. Check your image size, make sure it is a 72, and then we're going to save this as a JPEG file. Now, before we do this, we need to create a folder to put all your images, correct? So let's just go get a folder prepared. So I'm going to go to my folder, the one that I'm going to use. I'm going to say new folder, and I'm going to name this portfolio. I should probably call it Photoshop portfolio because we're going to do the same thing for Illustrator portfolio. So I'll say Photoshop portfolio JPEG images. Okay. So this is my file that I'm going to use, and then I'll go back. Now, here's where we start. So you create your folder first, and then come to Photoshop. You say Window, Actions, and then we're going to create a new action. So we're going to click on plus. This one is called Create New Action. You click on this. When you do that, this comes up. You're going to name this action. We're going to say converting Photoshop to JPEG. Okay, and we're going to hit record. What this does is whatever you are doing now for this one image, it's going to do the same thing for all the other images. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start this over with our first Photoshop exercise again, because I want to go through all of the steps. So just watch what we do. Okay, I'm going to open up my image again. I'm just changing the image size to 100 so that if it is something else, the computer, we will convert it to 72 and the computer will do that at the end. Okay, so I'm going to create new action here. Again, go to Window, Actions, and then I'm going to create a new action. Okay, so call this action something. I'm going to call this scrapping portfolio files. Okay, and I'm going to hit record. Now first thing I have to do is change my image size to 72. Then flatten the image so that all these layers are only one. So flatten image. So now I have one picture. Now I'm going to go to File, Save. I'm going to go to my computer and then find the folder that I created for my portfolio files. So this is my portfolio images file. And I'm going to select JPEG here instead of Photoshop for the format. And I'm going to save it and say OK. Now, if you go to your folder, you'll see that it's already saved the JPEG. Now we can come to the actions and stop recording. Now we already have all the actions recorded. So now when we close this and go open another Photoshop exercise from our file, I'm going to go find my Photoshop exercises and let's find exercise 2. This was exercise 1. Okay, we're gonna open our second exercise. Now I don't have to go through all these steps to flatten the image and then save it as a JPEG. What I'm gonna do is first find my action here. I said prepping portfolio files. I'm gonna click play. It's going to see how it flattened already and did all this. So if you go back to your folder, it already saved it as a JPEG, so you don't have to do it. So all you have to do here is now File, Open, and go and open your exercise 3. And then I select that prepping portfolio files action, just say play, and it already saves that file. Okay, so you can see exercise 3 is already saved. And then I'll do the same thing for each and every one. So let me just do a couple more. So let's do exercise 4. And then I just do this. It's already done. I do exercise 6. I go play, it's already done. So I'll do one more and then I'll show you how to make your portfolio. Exercise 7 and done. Okay, so now let's go to our folder. So now we have all of these images. Okay, this is an example of a portfolio. So you have your introduction page with your name and then all the exercises we have done, and it is created in this format as a PowerPoint. So now we're going to do that. So I'm going to say File, New Presentation. So if you're on a Mac, you don't have that option, but if you're on a PC, if you click on Insert, there will be an option for you here that says Photo Album, and you can just click on it and select all of your files, and then it will create each picture on one slide. So you'll have your photo album, and then you're going to save this as your Photoshop portfolio. Unfortunately, if you're on a Mac doesn't have that photo album option anymore. So what you can do is you're going to go to your slide, select pictures, picture from file, and then you're going to go select your each picture one at a time. So you're going to go to new slide and then insert picture, picture from file, and then select your second image. And of course, you know, to do that, what I'm doing is, again, new slide, insert, pictures, picture from file, and I'm going to the file that we created with all of our JPEG images, right? So you're just going to have to do that manually if you have a Mac. And then of course you can just use these design ideas to make them all one page. If you're on a Mac, I will also allow you to use Word. So if you go to Word and you just create new document, let's say new from template. I wonder if it has a photo album option on Word. Okay, it doesn't have one. So you'll have to just create a blank document, and then you're going to go to insert, and you're going to select picture from file, and then you can select all of these files and say insert, and it will actually insert them all as one page. So if it is easier for you to do it that way, if you have a Mac, go ahead and save all of your images in Word, and then make sure you have them in the same order that is on your rubric. So again, remember, I have this rubric here. Every image should be in this order, and it will be submitted through Blackboard. Okay.